Yo, 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 yo. What up? What up? I hope you guys, have fun today. Come to my live stream, as you can see, living room, done no, holding it down. Yeah, just talking about life stories today. There are so many topics that I want to discuss with everybody today, especially when it comes to, rappers, artists, um, the culture of being arrested. A lot of people they're they're getting arrested because they feel like if they're an artist, especially a rapper, and they don't have a solid base of being known, of course, gaining the fans, the publicity, and the best way to gain fans and gain publicity is mainly to be able to sort of, what I mean, like commit crimes, right? Be on the wrong side of the laws. And these things affect, later on. It influences them, affects them when, they have grown up and gone through the trenches and realized that it would have been better if they considered, a better path, a better career path. Because, I mean, you could be an artist, but you don't have to speak or involve yourself in pure violence because a lot of people do, right? And so they get caught up in this whole persona of thinking that they're cool because everybody knows who they are and they're tied up with law enforcement. I'm an artist myself, right? I produce. I also make what's it called, amateur films as well. So I do plenty of things, and I feel like I don't need to involve myself in crimes in order to sell my records or in order to promote myself to be known on the streets, right? Because you can do a lot of positive things to be able to achieve the same goal or even much better goals most of the time. And so I just want people to understand that a career path, it's something obviously everybody wants to choose. Everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to, you know, be the most known person or talked about, that they're, what's it called? They're influential in their era. But to do it by obtaining a wrong name is the wrong way to go about things. Because a lot of times when you sign deals, right, the money you get, you got to budget it properly. Because if you don't budget it properly, you're not going to achieve the results that you need. And a lot of people overspend it. They focus on the gears, you know, buying the latest clothes, the latest shoes, and all kinds of partying and basically showing that money is nothing to them, right? All for publicity. But at the end of the day, they fail miserably financially because they're not able to, get their act together. They're not able to calculate the best results for them. And so that's one of the major problems with many artists today, right? They spend so much time doing so many things, but then at the end of the day, they fail to realize the most important things, right? They choose to do it last. So you should choose to do the most important things first to get that out the way so you can be financially sound or have everything simplified for you. Because if you buy like $1 million house, but the maintenance on that $1 million house could be anywhere from $25 to $50,000 every single month. And a lot of people don't even make that much in a year. And so if your career has not taken off, and if you have not budgeted properly because your spending habits is so high, and then what's going to happen is you're just going to get rid of things that you spend so much money obtaining just because you cannot maintain it. So think about it. Think about the values of life. Think about what is really important. Because I mean, social media, right, is the ultimate platform that you can connect to the world if you continuously, consistently push every day and upload content. And so you don't have to be shy of the content that you put out. Because guess what? Motivation, right, from all aspects of spectrum is good. And so if you're motivated, then you should have a message from your heart to express to the people of the world, not just on the YouTube platform, but to every angle and corner of the world, because that is who we are as human beings. We are there to share messages. We are there to translate, to communicate with each other, to understand each other. And so, because we are there to do these things, right? Working hard, putting in the effort is one of the main components of life. And a lot of professionals, right, before they make it, they know about this foundational movements. And so that is why they can continuously grow if they remember their foundation core of how they got to that pedestal in the first place. And so think about it. Platforms help you to get out there. It's up to you to use the platform even when there is nobody. Because guess what? You are the one that's only going to see your progress. And if you don't try, you're the only one who's going to fail in the results because you haven't pushed like how you should push. You haven't done the things that you need to do, right? And so that's what life has to hold for a lot of people. A lot of people refuse to understand how things work, and they think everything should be given to them, right? They think that once they have, let's say, made the music, or once they have accomplished a goal, it's the end cycle. That means they don't have to do anything again. They don't have to, push hard. They don't have to market. They don't have to promote. And so you have to be wiser in your decisions, because guess what? Right now it's not even about the fact that you're a youth or even an adult. It's about your arts of execution, what plans you put into place. Because for sure you see how much young people who are under 21 or just hitting 21 making millions of dollars, owning businesses, right? So the youth have gotten to the point that society has arranged a lot of things, you know, into their favor based on the technology improvements that is taking place in society today. And so we need to analyze these things, because guess what? If you don't, and if you're a little bit older and you're not tech savvy, you could be left behind in a tech world. And so what that means is it can influence and impact the way you live from now on. And so I'm pretty sure you've seen the changes in the past 100 years or 20 years or 10 years, how drastic and how vast things have become. And so how things have changed, right? Take, for example, in Africa, they do a lot of videos every single day. right? And these guys don't have the most budget. They don't have the most amount of money to do these films, right? They don't have the greatest environments, but it's the most unique, and they make the best of the fact that they are able to shoot and push every single day, 7 days a week. They are putting out content, right? 2 3 times a day they are putting out content on different platforms, trying to build, right, an avenue, a stream, a funnel of income, and not just a funnel of income but a funnel of fans, right? And all those fans, ultimately, they buy from you. Not just buy from you, but they feed off of you mentally and spiritually, because you have things that they aspire to get. You are in the position that they want to be. You are their entertainer. You are their person that teaches them, right? And so for people to be able to change the way they do things, or think, in a better perspective because of, maybe the shows, the skits that you did, the comedy that you did, the interview, the advice that you gave, because everybody can learn from anybody as long as they're willing to listen and to understand, right? Because those things help you to overcome all the obstacles of life, right? Think about it. Look at the rules that are taking place in society today. Look at the changes that have changed in a short period of time. You know, is our future as human beings consistent? Is it a guarantee? Right? I know those are questions that people think about every day. Right? Are you guaranteed to live tomorrow based on the circumstances of today? Right? Nobody has guarantee except for God can give guarantee to everybody. But the way we are setting ourselves up, the back and forth of the bickering, of the misunderstanding of vaccinated and unvaccinated, right? Those words have been the most repetitive words in human history for the past almost 3 years. And so that is showing you how fast society can be influenced to do things based on things that are placed. All these surveys are put into place for it to serve you, but it also gives others an understanding of how to serve you because of what you like and what don't you like, right? So all these things play a big role in society today, right? What is popular is known on social media and is being pushed to you every single day. And so a lot of times, some of the messages, some of the videos that are being pushed to the public is not the best ideal way or idea for people to even see. But because of the marketing behind it, because of the message that majority of the people want to hear or are looking for, then it can also be pushed because of the majority counts, right? Majority always wins. And if they decide to want a specific way of living, a specific understanding, ideal ways of what's it called, of knowledge, then it's going to be given to them. And so that's what's going on in society today. You see what I'm saying? So think about it. How's life for you? You know what I mean? How's life for your children? Right? I know that day in and day out, right? More news come, you know, more problems are taking place in society because of the pandemic. And even though it's not declared a pandemic, right, where there's lockdown, right? But it is a pandemic because the ripple effects has changed the way we view each other, the way we think of each other, the way we understand or used to understand each other. It has changed, right? So think about it. How's life for you? How's life for the people that are around you? You know, what do you think of tomorrow? Right? So many people, they get up, they go to work, they come back, and they search for the physical surface. But your life has three components: physical, mental, and spiritual. So you have to feed all three of them. You see what I'm saying? And in order to feed all three of them, you have to do the things that the three needs. Not what you think, but what it truly needs. Right? If you want to physically feel good about yourself, then work out. Right? Talk and say positive things about yourself. Right? And put yourself in a healthy, positive environment. Mentally, you must read and research, right? In order for you to feed your mental mind. Spiritually, you must also do spiritual things like prayer, reading the Bible, right? All those things in order to achieve that. You have to stay in tune with your spiritual side, which is your energy side. You have to stay in tune with that. Connect with the higher creator, the one and only Jah. Because guess what? We don't come from an accident. We're not accident people. We didn't make all these things and come all the way to this distance by an accident. We didn't obtain so much knowledge from people, from generations after generations, to just be an accident. So we're more than what we think we are, right? And we are not artificial. So artificial and artificial goes together. Not artificial and what's it called? Official, original goes together. So we have to think about that. Because if artificial and artificial can go together, then original and original can go together. See what I'm saying? So let me know what you guys think, right? Because, I mean, you live and you learn, but some mistakes is better to experience from a other perspective, not affecting you directly, but from somebody else's experience. You can learn a lot of things so that you don't get the setbacks of life. See what I'm saying? Do things that make you happy. Do things that you love doing. Because at the end of the day, you'll fight hard to keep it, right? Don't just think about the job because it's money. Yes, money helps, but then the enemy can use money to trap you, to steal your soul. And so you cannot be too attached to anything specifically. Don't give all to one aspect of your life. Spread it out. Because if you spread it out, you'll be able to get better results. Instead of thinking, oh, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, spread it out, because you cannot put all your eggs in one basket. If you do that, you're making a huge mistake, and you can't afford to do that, right? The mistakes that you used to make yesterday is not the same. You cannot do the same thing because the consequences have changed. It can be more detrimental to your existence. So I suggest people should be more wiser and careful in their decision making, in the things that they do, in the experiences that they choose to learn from. Because at the end of the day, we're all by ourselves. We're together, but we're still single by ourselves. And so we have to learn how to be strong, not just together, but on our own. Because that will create a strong individual and togetherness society where we're strong whether we're alone and we're even more stronger when we're together. So be part of a new society, a changing, positive, motivational society, a society that helps you to overcome obstacles and goals. See what I'm saying? Check out my podcast series, right? Available on Spotify, available on Google. Check out all my music. It's a passion that I love. And so I love to put in that creativity in my music, not just in my music, but in my podcast specials as well. And in everything that I do, I try to do it to the best of my ability with what I have. And so that is all your creator is asking of you, to be able to do things to the highest of your ability so that you can get better rewards and achieve higher achievements. Right? So think about it. Society is up and up, day in and day out. But what do you do? What are you going to do? What are your plans? Right? I said the other day that famine is coming. Every day, the time clicks. Every day, there is new news, new changes. Every day, right? There's more and more bad news of what is happening to the environment, or what is happening to the jobs, what is happening to people's lives and their homes, their careers. New viruses emerging. Now we're on R1. And so this virus, I think all it does is it is like a form of a computer. And so what the virus does is it grabs data. It grabs data and is able to use that data to be able to morph, to change into a higher level where you won't detect it. And it's more dangerous because it's always mutated. And so the creation of this virus had to be carefully planned. And so now, right, it's changing. So when they come up with a vaccine that is not permanent, right? It's not a permanent one because it wears off. It's not good because then it's a recycling game. You have to always continuously do this. You have to always do that. And you shouldn't be doing that because guess what? We can only take so much before our genetics cannot take it anymore. And we react negatively to the jabs, you know? So we need a permanent one. And it should be only one shot, that you get a permanent one and you don't take it again, because this is too much where you have to take a first, a second, right? I thought it was done at two, and then third, and of course, fourth. And anything that wears off you and you need it, right? You have to keep getting it. And so, what are we going to be subject to? Because we're natural now. We can't afford to be unnatural because we are humans. And our unnatural form, right, does not have room for our soul, which is the Holy Spirit. And so it does not have room for that because it's an artificial feature. That's the difference between a toy and a human. One has a soul and the other doesn't. But if you become artificial, then your soul is not going to dwell in you any longer. It will leave. Why? Because there is no need for it, right? It will see no need for that in your vessel. And so that's the importance of being natural, because you came from natural sources. So it is natural results that you need, or natural substances that you need to solve problems that, happen and affect you as a human being. If we start using artificial things, right, it's no good, because guess what? If we cannot solve the problem because maybe our natural self can't adapt or connect, then we are in trouble, because we cannot solve the issue with natural substances, right? Because we have made ourselves artificial. So let me know what you guys think. Comment, share this with your friends. Let's get this discussion on, because people need to really know what's going on in society. You need to know why you think the way you think. What is important to you? What is not important to you? See what I'm saying? Have a nice day, guys. Bye now.